Hey. McPherson Park in picturesque Toolenvale plays host to today's McDonald's Ballarat Football Netball League Ballarat Toyota match of the day. With the top-ranked attack and defence in the competition, Melton Bloods enter the game as favourites, having chalked up an impressive 14-win, 2-loss year to top the table at the culmination of the home and away season. However, despite ranking 4th on defence and a lowly 8th on offence, today's rival is by no means to be underestimated. The second-place Ballarat Swans attained 12 wins from their 16 games, with 9 coming in their past 10 outings. One thing is for certain, and that is we are set for a belter in our Ballarat Toyota match of the day, the 2022 qualifying final as part of the Carlton Draft Premiership season and the final series, proudly supported by Carlton Draft. Hello, my name is Wes Cusworth and I'm joined in commentary by Archie Burley. Welcome, Archie. Thanks so much for joining me.
Oh, thank you, Wes, for the introduction. What about the atmosphere here? It's slowly building at McPherson Park. All the locals come out today to see this thrilling first, second battle. As we mentioned last week, Sebastopol playing Ballarat was a thrilling affair. Just coming away with a win was Ballarat by less than a goal. I think it was 3 points in the end. So if Ballarat bring that same pressure today and come home, I reckon they can give Melton a run for their money.
Yeah, well, Melton is certainly a very, very difficult team to toss on their home turf. I know that I witnessed North Ballarat's success over Melton, and of course that was at Mars Stadium. It was a very windy day, and as a consequence, North Ballarat using the wind a lot more effectively than Melton and getting the spoils on that occasion. And of course Sunbury had a bit of a surprise upset of Melton in the latter stages of the season, but for all intents and purposes the Bloods are the team to beat, aren't they?
Yeah, for sure. Outright favourites today, but finals, anything can happen. You know, rock up all year to get to this point, and that extra bit of pressure can do funny things to teams in finals.
Yes, we know that Ballarat, well coached, they'll really come out firing. There's no Josh Gibson today, of course. That's a bit of a blow. I think you alluded to the fact that there seemed to be maybe a little bit of cramp or something happening. Is it more than that? We wonder, because he's certainly not out there with the Ballarat Swans today.
Yeah, late last week, he got in a contest with Riley O'Keefe, and he just like came off second best, and it looked like he just calf cramped late in this game. You know, he's not in his peak form anymore, so that seems to happen. But yeah, he played out the rest of the game, and he still looked all right. I think he still took another couple of contested marks, but yeah, it must have not pulled up all right for the rest of the week. And of course, with the second chance, you don't really want to risk him doing a more serious injury.
No, that's exactly right. I mean, you do want to see the very best players out there, but at the same time, it's a matter of making certain that you've got 22 very fit players out there, and also being mindful of the fact that there is football to be played beyond today for the Ballarat Swans and the Melton Bloods. It's an absolutely picturesque day here at Toolenvale, as I made mention. It's a fantastic facility here at McPherson Park, and we're absolutely privileged. We're absolutely privileged to have the opportunity to call from the balcony. We're very grateful to the Bloods for the chance to have such a fantastic vantage point, and the perspective of the ground is absolutely enormous. So the umpire has the Sharon in hand, holds the ball aloft as the siren sounds to begin the first of our finals here at McPherson Park. And it's going to be Archie Burley with the first of the action.
McIntyre and Powling in the middle to go at it first up for the first final. Good hit out there. Neil Ruckman really winning it. McIntyre doing well there, and then it comes out to James. Couldn't quite. He might get the free kick. He will. Sam James, the captain for Ballarat, starting well. First goal crucial in this contest. He's got a man with a bit of space out in the wing. Will the player get there? He won't. This is Fraser. Takes a good mark. Looks further afield, and it could have crept over the mark. It was Luke Heaney on that occasion, and it's a 50-metre penalty.
Well, actually, I reckon it might have been against Lachlan Hickey, who was following his man as they passed the kicker, and as a consequence, the umpire deemed that he encroached onto that territory, which, of course, as we know, is absolutely, well, privileged territory. You just can't go into that space.
Just like that, we're going to have Bailey Fraser having the first kick at goal for the day. How crucial it is. They can put some scoreboard pressure on early, get the momentum, be huge. From no more than 15 metres, Bailey Fraser is back, stabs it a little bit, but he's kicked it. And Ballarat Swans kicked the first of the first final. Coming from a 50-metre penalty, so costly from Melton. We know how hard goals are to come by in finals. And giving one away like that, coaches would not be happy from Melton.
Yeah, it was a really, really tricky one there for Hickey. Obviously, he needed to follow his man. He knew full well the handball option was going to be on if he didn't, and unfortunately encroached into that protected territory. So we're back in the middle of McPherson Park. The big men go at it once again. This is McIntyre winning it down to his team's advantage. Almost a kick away by Jack Walker, just to caught the outside of the boot, didn't travel any great distance. We're going to have a secondary ball up in the middle of McPherson Park as the big men set themselves once again. They're going to come from the same direction now. McIntyre, front position, palms it down to his teammate's advantage. Once again, the intention was for Jack Walker. Pack forms, and the umpire's just dwelling on this one, awaiting the opportunity to blow the whistle once again. Nice firm middle, as we can see here at McPherson Park. The ground's in really terrific condition. They've done a great job as they host this qualifying final.
McIntyre back in it. James, well roved, just gets it forward, and well set up was the Melton player, although he spilt the mark. Now it falls out the back. Will they recover? There could be a holding free kick there. There will be. They're under pressure early, the Melton defence. This is Jake Dunn from 45 metres out for Ballarat. Just that quick entry's worrying Melton as they go in. He's going to wheel around on the angle and give it everything he's got. Didn't have the distance, but it could be a mark on the line. Bounces, and we'll have a throw in 15 metres out from the Ballarat Swans goal. Good early ball movement, Wes, worrying Melton's defence.
Indeed. Doing the ruck work on this occasion is Mitch McGrath for the Swans. The Swans take possession. Quick kick on goal. And it's across the face, but it's through for a minor score. And so the Swans move along to 1-1-7 after the first 3 minutes of play. Melton still yet to score and yet to take the ball forward as Archie Burley picks up the action here at McPherson Park.
Here's Cotter, that loves getting big numbers, and that kick isn't his best, and it's just fumbled over the boundary line by Melton's Jacob Hickey. Off the boot, I don't think it was a great kick, but it ended up hitting him lace out. Just the early moments, Hickey will settle into the game. McIntyre and Powling battle it out. McIntyre gets his own ball and throw, gets it forward, just bouncing inside the field of play, and we'll have another stoppage just in front of us in the broadcast position.
A couple of changes for Melton as we see Adrian Menito make his way onto the ground, and I can see Daniel O'Leary is anxiously seeking his opportunity. The umpire's made his way quite a few metres into the arena as he throws the ball in. Heavy tackle laid, and once again we'll have a ball up here on centre wing, just forward of centre wing for the Ballarat Swans. They lead by 7. 4.5 minutes have gone in this Ballarat Toyota match of the day as part of our Carlton Draft final series, getting things underway on a magnificent day. Taking possession, then heavily tackled is Blake Suter. And he'll hand the ball to the umpire. And plenty of stoppages. The umpire's coming in for plenty of action early on in our qualifying final.
It's a beautiful start. McIntyre gets it down. Well roved from the Ballarat player, and Liston it was that occasion. Now they'll get it out on his opposite foot. Tries to get it round. They're well represented here. Ballarat, they can keep the ball in. They can't. Just overworking Melton's defence, it seems, at the start of this game. The quick rush ball in is causing them problems, the Melton defence. Ballarat Great contest to start. They've come out firing. They get it out again on this occasion. It was a good tackle. The umpire says hold of the ball. Jack Walker with the good tackle. He's got man on the outer side. If he wants to take the switch on, like his time, he'll hit a short kick up and hit Watkins. Watkins has Manita if he wants him. He's going to go further down the line. Good mark. Taken, and O'Leary's got it. He wants to go through the middle to Cotter. Cotter's smothered by Dawson. They'll win the ball back though, Cotter, and then he goes out wide to McIntyre. He's an emphatic ball winner, is Jordan Cotter. McIntyre now goes back, and they're just going to take their time. Ballarat set up well here, pushing them back, but their structure's well set. And he's found Cotter again. He's a leather magnet. Appealing for the 50, not going to fall into it this time. They'll go long. They've got good numbers behind the ball. They spoil each other. Lack of voice. Walker tries to get it forward. Couldn't. Now trying to burst through the pack. Now they do, and he'll get it forward. Can they? McIntyre's well set here. It gets over the back of them. Here's Dawson trying to get it out, and they'll get it to the boundary line. Cotter again, just takes his time to the stoppage and is going to throw it on the boot. It's like, oh no, it looks like out of bounds on the full. Ballarat will kick back in.
Yeah, it was a bit of a kicking hope there on that occasion from the Bloods, and unfortunately for them, it's proved pretty costly because the free kick is going to go the way of Grant Baldwin. So he's right on the interchange gates, right in front of us as we stand on the balcony here at McPherson Park. Nice long penetrative kick forward. Big fly on that occasion. Ball falls to the back of the pack. Oh, heavy tackle. Brenton Payne has won himself a free kick. And he'll have it at right half back for the Bloods. His side in deficit by 7. We have gone 7 minutes into this first term. Switch of play from Melton. Couple of short options, dangerously so, although Jack Walker now moves it out further afield. And Melton can progress now using the outer side of the ground. Kick towards a contest, and they've turned it over, and the Swans will have it right on centre wing. And the mark's taken there by Bailey Vanderhoovel.
It's going to progress slowly here. They've had the game much on their terms here, Ballarat. Good kick in boards to hit Domic, and Domic wants to go long to a couple of players tracking back. It was nearly taken, it wasn't. Running around now and throwing on his boot was Fife. Couldn't get it, and then a good contest mark throws on the boot, and oh no, the umpire called not 15, and it was Andrew Hooper got rid of his player, and then probably had more time than he thought. Throw it on the boot, and just missing to the far side. Melton will come back in, and they've got a free player through Carter, and Carter wants to go longer. Gets out the back. Well done from the Ballarat player, and he wants to go on his opposite and get it down, and oh, Powling just drops the easy chest mark, but he recovers okay. A lot of Melton players, and they kill the ball. Disappointing from Marcus Powling to drop that ball and relieve the pressure, but they're cracking in early. Ballarat definitely up to the challenge.
Sure are. They lead by 8. McIntyre and Powling set themselves for the boundary throw in. Just forward of centre wing, commentary side of the ground. Shortish throw in. Neither player wins it decisively. Taken by Watkins. Works the ball forward. Target was Hanley. Late inclusion in the lineup. Now the Swans gather possession. Waitman kicks towards half-forward ball, fisted away. The target there was Mitch McGrath, but ultimately he had to prove the queller of that marking attempt for Melton. And as a consequence, at the 9-minute mark of our first term in what's been a start largely devoid of scoring, it's the Ballarat Swans 1-2-8, leading Melton still yet to score.
Powling, good tap in front of his teammate in Prendergast. He tracks it, but gets pushed over the line in the process. I don't think Ballarat would mind this scrappy start. We know Melton are a heavy scoring team, so if they can make it a bit of a scrap and then make some strides late in the game, it could be good. McIntyre just tries to fresh area it, and he doesn't get it. James chasing the ball. They're going to exit with hands here. It was just an up and under kick, Melton player, and then it comes back down. Good in the pack there from 5, trying to get it out. And Kite was there as well, trying to get it out. They got some space now, and they're going to kick it out to the wing. Hickey's tracking it back, but he's got a couple of Ballarat players. He gets a kind bounce, and they're going to go forward. They're well set behind the ball. He creates the contest, though, was the Ballarat player, and now the run-down tackle. How's the umpire going to see this one? He says holding the ball. They're going to be red hot on that today. As Van der Hevel gets run down. This is Hickey. Just going to go to the hot spot and see if someone can fly at it. They do. Gets out the back. Ballarat well set up. Good tackle, and I don't think he had any prior there. We'll have a stoppage 25 metres out from the Bloods' goal.
Well, this is the closest they've been to goal. What can they conjure up now? It looks like Carter might do the ruck work inside front 50. The umpire's just asking the players to clear out. He needs a clear path behind him to move out. Just making sure he doesn't crash into the contest. Powling pretty much goes alone there on that occasion. Sam James was in the action. Couldn't take possession. Here are the Bloods. Little kick forward. Powling sits underneath it and takes the mark. Defensive. Inside defensive 50, 25 metres from the Melton goal. Powling now uses the outer side of the ground. Kicks towards his opposite number. And there's Manito crumbing. Suter goes one way, then the other. Little kick forward. Oh, it's a little wide there on that occasion. He intended to find Daniel O'Leary, and unfortunately it was just a little bit wide. So it's going to be the Swans ball between wing and halfback flank, outer side of the ground here at McPherson Park.
Baldwin to kick back in. He wants to go long. They've been going quick all day here, Ballarat. It's been worrying Melton. Just gets over the back and goes out of bounds. But that quick ball movement, the really do-or-die type of game that Ballarat are playing, I think they've come with a plan. I think they're executing it pretty well in this first quarter. To try and surprise the Melton defenders. We have the ball back in McIntyre and Powling. Powling gets the hit down to his teammate in Liston, and Liston's wrapped up. We'll have another stoppage.
It's a sort of scoreline after 12 minutes that you might think is a wet day, but it's absolutely brilliant here at McPherson Park.
Couldn't get better conditions. The Melton player runs back into the corner to get the high tackle. So we get the free kick for that one. It was Lockie Walker attacking the ball hard, putting his head over it. He's going to think his way through this. He's got a man running up, and he's going to go to that with the wing. It's got to be a pinpoint kick. It's not, but he trapped the ball okay. Cotter comes in, trying to get it out. They get it to Payne, and Payne's pushed over the boundary line. It's a very good comment, Wes. It looks like, if you were having a look at the live scores, you'd think how much rain, but it's a perfect day for football. So comes back in. McIntyre just gets rid of Powling, and then well rowed by Fraser, and he's stuck under the pack. How's the umpire going to see it? He's going to say didn't have any prior. So we've got another stoppage 40 metres out from the Ballarat goal.
McIntyre, Powling front position, wins it down. James, dispossessed. Manito, quick hands. Cotter, fisted forward by Suter. Only so far as the Swans try to evade a tackle. A little bit of a no-look over the head handball on that occasion. Always a little bit dubious. Heaney tries to break the tackle. He's dispossessed of the football. Bursting his way, well, not quite bursting his way through. Attempting to burst his way through was McPherson, but ultimately he was held up. And pretty much in the middle of McPherson Park with the visitors. That is Ballarat Swans leading 1-8. Melton still yet to score. 14 minutes travelled in our Ballarat.
Here they go again, Ballarat. This is Prendergast. Can he find someone inside the 50? It's a one-on-one in the square out the back. He might grab the ball. It's Hooper just getting out of bounds, but he's kept it in. He gets the handsballs out. Oh, and Dawson could have had a shot. It was well done from the Melton defender to stay in front there and hold his body position. Trying to get the cheapie out the back was Andrew Hooper, and it just couldn't get through for him.
Drawing on all of his AFL experience, Andrew Hooper as a Western Bulldog.
Gets forward now, in front. Good in and under football from Walker. Trying to get the ball out and then diving on it. How's the umpire going to see that as diving out there? Gets it out, as they should now. ball coming out. Oh, well done from Liston. Hands through. A couple of handball link-ups. Then it's going to go to the top of the square. Can they take a mark here? He's fallen back with the flight. That was Powling. It's going to be stuck under there somewhere. I love it. Another stoppage. Only 7 metres out from the Ballarat goal this time. Can they create a scoring opportunity? Down. Melton, well represented. Gets pushed as he's holding it, and he's going to receive the free kick. Suit up.
Always in the action, Blake Suter. Really terrific, hard player.
We'll play short with 15 minutes gone. He might be still going to try and be aggressive with the ball movement. It's down the line. It's hugging the boundary rope, and it's actually over. So Ballarat's pressure and defensive structure has been an anomaly this quarter as they go back inside and well set up. Now Cotter will go through the middle to Watkins. This is better from Melton. Ran some ball movement. Now they got players running through the middle. Paid the mark. He's got to get up and go. They don't want Ballarat to flood the inside 50. Gets back to Watkins. Watkins goes long. Can he find Carter? Carter's there, and no. Oh, he's given a block, so Carter will get the free kick. Was unlucky because Ballarat got the numbers back in defence, and it was a good mark taken by Van der Hevel, but none of that matters because Ryan Carter's got a set shot from 15 metres out to make it a 2-point game with 16 minutes gone on the Ballarat Toyota scoreboard. Ballarat Toyota match of the day. The sharp shooting Ryan Carter. Dabs it a little bit, but he's got it. And they get around him, and after all the dominance that Ballarat have had this quarter, it's only a 2-point game. Just shows how important taking your opportunities are in finals.
You're exactly right, Archie, and particularly when you describe the fact that Melton created some run, which is something that they have not been able to do for the bulk of the 17 minutes that we've played so far. There was that one situation where they were able to just link up beautifully through the corridor, and as a consequence it resulted in a Carter goal. So 1-2-8 Ballarat, Melton 1 straight 6. Powling, McIntyre, no clear winner. Taken by the Swans, swung around, not disposing adequately, and it's going to be Daniel O'Leary winning himself a free kick. O'Leary pretty eager to get the footy. Benedetto's calling for it out wide, but O'Leary wisely chooses the option of Carter leading forward. Got away from his man there beautifully on that occasion, Carter. Oh, Ballarat Swans in defensive 50. Oh, well, eventually they're going to work it out through the agency of Prendergast. That's Carter. It was a 1-on-1 on the wing, and Melton won it, and they moved the ball forward, but it's travelled only so far as Carter Prendergast once again, who marks at right half back.
Prendergast just going to go slow and then pull the trigger when they need to. Trying to fist it over the boundary was the Melton player. He didn't make good contact, and seeing that, we're going to have another stoppage, which Ballarat wouldn't mind because their stoppage work's been nothing short of exceptional this first quarter. With Powling doing very well on the ruck and now getting it out again, winning another clearance. Out now, it's Dawson's got to beat probably 3. He just tries to trap the ball and wait for his troops to come. He does, and then they get it out wide. Just running past it was James. Dowling and Melton win it back, but once again, Ballarat are well set up behind the ball, trying to push under the... Carter was trying to push his opponent under the ball, which was Van der Hevel, but it's a 0-0 draw and another throw-in on the outer side of the ground.
A little bit of feeling between Van der Hevel and Carter. It's a really great duel, that one. So it's going to be Mitch McGrath doing the ruck work on this occasion, but McIntyre at the back of the pack, although he fumbles and loses possession of the footy, taken by Jacob Hickey. Works it out to a teammate. They retreat with the handball, but they've turned it over, and all of a sudden the Swans have created some space. They're streaming forward. They wish to switch the ball into the corridor. Oh, the mark spilt there on that occasion by Drever. The quick snapper goal from Hooper, and he has kicked the Swans second. Well, Ballarat Swans, turnover in midfield, outer side of the ground, centre wing. And the opportunity was created, the door opened ajar, and Ballarat Swans walked right through. They lead 2-2, 14 to 1 straight 6 on the Ballarat Toyota scoreboard.
Yeah, great work from Ballarat there. Once again, that quick ball transition from defensive 50 to offensive 50, and they just caught Melton. Jordan Cotter just coming too far up and not being with his opponent. We're back in the middle now, though. McIntyre, beautiful tap down to the Melton player, and it just gets over the head of the forwards. Carter's there. If he can lay the tackle, he does. It's thrown on the boot. Did he make contact? The umpire said he did, and then it runs out of bounds. So there'll be a stoppage. Only 20 metres out from Melton's goal. Carter just grabs it out of the pack, hands it off to Walker. Walker trying to find his teammate. He does. He wheels around, kicks, and it go in. No, it just fades right. It was silky from Liam Carter swinging around on his right foot, but as Ballarat have, they're going to try and go quickly here and catch Melton lacking. It's Blackburn. It's going to go back to where they started in the defensive goal square. Just be careful chipping around, especially with how well Melton, we know they set up. It's a bit of a floater of a kick. James will get it to Dawson, and then it's well won by Melton, and then back in the middle, and a good mark taken. Good vision from Blake Suter, and got it to Braden Kite. Top of the square. It was, as I mentioned, that defensive structure and locking the ball in is what Melton are known for. So you can't be having those clanger kicks as the Ballarat defender did in that occasion. Here comes Kite. Make it a 1-point margin with 22 minutes gone. It's a very good kick. Didn't have a look like missing. Kite kicks the goal, and 2-1-13 to 2-2-14 on the Ballarat Toyota scoreboard. The Ballarat Toyota match of the day.
Now we're getting some scoring happening here at McPherson Park in a manner that befits the fantastic conditions that we have here. We've got a great vantage point from the balcony at McPherson Park. Thanks so much to the Melton Bloods for accommodating us. Hope you're enjoying the coverage wherever you might be watching us. As Bailey Mawson's been thrown into the ruck now for Melton, and he's up against Powling. The takeaway is not particularly effective, albeit though it was with Melton. Here's Will Garner, swings onto the right, kicks towards the advantage of a teammate who's worn heavily by Jordan Kite. Melton's going to win it back, and they do so with a kick out wide. It's a one-on-one situation, falling to the back of the pack, taken by Lachlan Hickey, scrubbing sort of kick forward. And there's a hold, and it's going to go the way of the Swans, just the defensive side of centre.
The Ganero in the middle, but it was turned over. That's what happens when you're always trying to be brave, and it's a play on, not 15 metres. Good pressure from Melton, and it's what Ballarat, it's going to happen. If Ballarat are going to play this aggressive type of game, trying to go through the middle, it's not always going to work out. It's going to make mistakes, but it's about being brave, and fortune does favour the brave, as Mawson and Powling are back in the ruck. Well, rode by Dawson, but then they win it back, and here's Ballarat going through the middle. He's Fife, trying to get it forward on the lead to Hooper. Does he get there? No, it just falls out of his hands. Gets the hands back up to Dawson. Dawson couldn't grab it. Now they're trying to go forward. Here's James overrunning the ball, and Melton might get out of trouble here. He walks back into it, though. The umpire says play on, and then a high tackle, and it's all going to settle down. And as you mentioned, Blake Suter always in the middle of everything. Melton progressed through the middle. Got a player on in Hickey if he can get it in front of him. There's 2v1. They've got to sort it out here. One's got a shepherd. Hickey, here he goes. 35 closing. No, just gets pushed as he kicked it. Carter there making the tackle and trying to get it out. We'll have a stoppage 10 metres out from Melton's goal. How exciting was that ball movement through the middle from Melton, Wes?
Gee, when they go, they go. They look good when they have a run like that. Lachlan Hickey, for all intents and purposes, looked like he was steaming towards goal, but it just fell a little short with a little bit of a nudge. Here's an opportunity for Melton. Jacob Hickey in the action. Plenty of players around. Oh, nice handball. Heard the call, and the Swans will relieve the pressure. A kick towards the commentary side of the ground, but that is a really nice mark on full stretch from Brenton Payne. Got that left knee strapped, Payne. Maybe just a precautionary issue as he pumps it long towards the top of the square. Carter will be the target. The ball falls to ground. Carter takes it and almost got a kick away, but the Swans do very well to repel. They kick it out wide. Oh, big leap from behind came from Mitch McGrath. Manito took the crumbs. Now an opportunity for Cotter. He's been prolific once again, and look at that pass right into the middle of McPherson Park. Now they pump it forward down the corridor. 2-on-1, fisted away by Van der Heuvel. Ball falls to ground. Carter in hot pursuit, but it's going to be the Swans to take it away from halfback.
Here go the Swans. 1-2 with Dawson, and then now back into the middle. Prendergast is there, and they'll kick long with Domick, and it's down the line. Jumping over the back and taking a good mark is Mitch McGrath. He had a fly just in front of us no more than 30 seconds ago, and this one he clunked, so look forward to that throughout the day. As the kick isn't up to the task, and it's out of bounds on the full, so Melton kick back in. You know how when they pull the trigger they just go, so Ballarat got to be well set up behind the ball. They go in the middle here. Here's Kite. Couple of options on, go short up. Just got to really take their time, Ballarat, defending Melton, as he just goes the spiral straight down the middle. A couple of players coming from the side, they couldn't. Here's coming through is Liston, now hands out. Good, quick hands, and back to Liston. If he can hit the kick, he can't. It's just overcooked to Blackburn. Blackburn hands over to Mellington. Mellington losing his feet, back to Liston, and it goes out of bounds. The player was there, so it shouldn't be a free kick, and it's not. We'll have a stoppage just in front of us in the broadcast position here.
Good common sense umpiring there on that occasion. Realised that was a realistic chance as Mawson goes against Powling. Powling reaches over the top, fists the ball forward. Just misses the target. There's Suter. Escapes with the handball. Sets it into the path of Watkins. Nice pick up there on this occasion by Melton. O'Leary finds a teammate, 52 from goal. Heaney will wheel around. He looks for Carter, the one-on-one situation. Nice work. Van der Heuvel defensively fists it away. Here's Jacob Hickey. He'll crumb at 55. Little scrubbing kick forward. Mark Spilt. Manito with an opportunity. He's dispossessed of the football. And now players converge on the scene. Oh, trying to escape with the handball there was Garner. He does eventually, and good work by the Swans, although it's cut off with a really good mark by Brenton Payne once again. And boy, oh boy, has he got sticky hands.
Doesn't he? And it's moving forward. Here go Melton. Starting to win a lot more of the ball now. It's a piercing kick. They're well set up, though, Ballarat, and it's a good intercept mark taken by Nick Swain. Let's go short. Let's see what he has ahead of him. Ballarat player and Prendergast. You go to a one-on-one with McGrath. Gets over the back, and Melton can be dangerous in this situation when Ballarat aren't quite set. Good dashing run there from the Melton player. And as the siren goes for quarter time, only 28 and a half minutes gone for that quarter. The scores are Melton 2-1-13 to 2-2-14 Ballarat Swans. It was a story of not taking opportunities, Wes, as Ballarat dominated much of the first half of that quarter and just couldn't put it on the scoreboard. At Melton coming home late.
They sure did, and as you described, Archie, when Melton got their customary run happening, they looked particularly dangerous, but I think the Swans have done very well to ensure that that doesn't happen all that frequently. Obviously, as you made mention, the Swans perhaps needed to capitalise a little bit more on the possessions and the forward 50 entries that they enjoyed. But as it stands at the moment, it's really such a great arm wrestle across the course of the first term here at McPherson Park. And in our Ballarat Toyota match of the day, the qualifying final as part of our Carton Draft final series for 2022, it is Ballarat 2-2-14, leading Melton 2-1-13. We'll be back after a short break.
As proud sponsors of the Ballarat Football Netball League, we love supporting local.
And love community sport, and we encourage everyone to get out there, support your local football and netball league, and of course, support local business.
Yes, they are.
Thank you so much.
Welcome back to the second quarter of the Ballarat Toyota match of the day between Ballarat and Melton. Ballarat enjoying a 1 point advantage going into the second quarter here. It was, as we mentioned, a quarter much dominated by Ballarat, but not taking their opportunities. Melton getting their game together in the second half and coming home late. So we'll just wait for the Melton locals to get off the ground. Ryan Carter kicking a goal, and Braden Kite and for Melton, and Fraser and Hooper with one each for Ballarat. Just had an extended delay there from Melton, taking a long time with a quarter time address from the coach.
A lot of Melton supporters on the ground hearing what was said. And I love the Melton badges that a lot of their supporters are wearing today. Archie Burley with 1 point separating the two sides in our Ballarat Toyota match of the day. Calls the first of the action for the second quarter.
Powling just got it straight down. I think it was Baldwin, and he was wrapped up before he had the ball nearly. McIntyre and Powling, good contest. McIntyre starting to get some dominance in there, and he tries to get it out to List, and the ball really just bobbling around in there. Someone trying to get clean ball. There's James in there, and if he can't get it out, no one can. Back at it again. Good work from Powling to get it out wide, and then being held, and they're going to go with the advantage and hit up. Oh, it just goes through Dawson, and now here we go, Melton steaming away. Put in front of the Melton player in Walker, and then he was caught, and then he dives on it with the Ballarat player. A good spin and pick up from Ballarat. Now they get it out to Dawson. Dawson to James. Can James do something special for me? He's getting a low bullet. What a kick that was from Sam James. And a great mark taken from Jake Dunn to kick the first goal of the second quarter from no more than 15, 20 metres out.
Sam James has lost long sleeves, Archie. You know he means business now.
He's not going to waste any time. Going to come straight in, go with a traditional drop punt, and never gave it a chance. Missing to the near side, registering the first score for the second quarter. 2-1-13 to 2-3-15. Ballarat leading by 2 points in the Ballarat Toyota match of the day.
So Payne with the kicking duties for the Bloods. Early doors, second term. He looks as if he's coming out to the commentary side of the ground. He sets sail with a nice penetrative kick, fisted away by Powling. And clearly McIntyre was the target there on that occasion, but Powling reaching over the top, fisting it over the line. The boundary umpire will come into play, 55 metres around from the Swans' goal, and the big men will set themselves once again for the contest. Powling works his way to the front of the contest, works the ball to ground. Kennedy was in the mix. So too Lachlan Watkins for the Bloods. The pack forms over the football, and the umpire says it's my turn for the Sherrin, or I'll throw it up 55 metres out, 45-degree angle out from the Swans' goal.
McIntyre, good work. Little spin out of the contest there, trying to get to Walker. Walker run down by James. James, good as usual, putting into space, and here goes Kennedy. Putting it on the boot forward. It's gone to the tip of the goal square. Can they run out the back? Here's Hooper, kicks the goal. Well done from Andrew Hooper. Runs into the open. Read the play better than anyone else. And Ballarat get the first, the second quarter. 2-1-13. Melton to 3-3-21. Ballarat. 3 minutes gone. The Ballarat Toyota match of the day.
Oh, he loves a goal, Andrew Hooper. He loved a goal when he played at the elite level. He was an absolute goal sneak when he played with Werribee in the VFL. And since he's returned to the Ballarat Football Netball League and played with the Swans, he has been a force up forward and making the most of his opportunity there. Wasn't going to miss out. McIntyre Powling to his own advantage. Suter immediately grabbed, and in fact it wasn't Suter, it was O'Leary. A little bit of resemblance there for those two. Front position for McIntyre. Bursting away was Kennedy, although he isn't travelling very far before he's held up. Eventually getting the kick forward for Melton was Phillips, and here's an opportunity, streaming forward, the kick on goal from Lachlan Hickey is just missing to the left through for a minor score. And Melton 2-2, 14, trail Ballarat 3-3-21.
Ballarat very quickly out of defence here, kicking in. Don't want to waste any time. They, like I did a couple of times in the first quarter, caught Melton off guard. So I'm going to try and go quickly. This one's a good kick. It was low and penetrative. It just didn't get through to his teammate. He's driven to the deck, and it's going to be a stoppage. Maybe not. Umpire lets him go. Now you'll call the stoppage. Furthest distance away from us in the commentary position here on the outer side. Go up again, McIntyre and Powling, good work out. Was being held, that player, but then was creative to get the handball. In front was Dawson, just gets through his hands, and here you go, Melton coming back the other way. Puts it in front, going back with the flight, couldn't get the ball, and it's just a bit of ping pong action at the moment. Here's Liston just trying to throw it on the boot, gets hit very heavily. Now McGrath off to Dawson. Dawson, can he hit a target inside 50? It's just over the back, but they've got the numbers if they can get the hands. Just bounce out of the reach of Hooper. Hooper laying the tackle, and they've still got the numbers. James there as well. Good game of footy here. Pressure is right up as the ball goes out of bounds. 55 metres out from Ballarat's goal. Great defending from Melton there. They looked all but done, and a couple of efforts really saved the goal.
Ball back into the action for the Bloods. Makes his way onto the arena. Here's Liston. Tries to evade a tackle. Offloads by hand to McGrath. Kicks forward. Good work, Riley Walker. Read the ball better than anyone else there on that occasion. Takes the mark on the last line of defence. His side in deficit by 7 points. Hugs the line. Looks for McIntyre, a little too heavily weighted for him. Opens the door ajar for the Swans. They stream forward. They'll need the central corridor. The kick towards the advantage of Sam James, who pretty much collides with the goalpost there on that occasion. The ball is parried to the behind post, and I think we'll find this is going to be a ball in. Yes, indeed it is. The boundary umpire is going to come into play. And the score 3-3-21 plays 2-2-14, 6.5 minutes travelled. Second quarter action in our qualifying final.
Powling and McIntyre will go battle again here. Powling starting to get on top in the ruck battle. He goes right there. McGrath might have filled in for him. He does, and then he gets the ground ball. Trying to get out to Liston. Liston didn't have the ball. The umpire says play on. No, he's giving it a high tackle, so Melton will exit here. James just getting the Melton player in Blake Suter. It's a tad high there, and they'll try and exit through Payne. Payne has one on, so that can go quickly. Here's Riley Walker. The switch might be on. They'll go back to Payne, and now even longer to Phillips. Phillips is going to be held up by Hooper. So well done from Ballarat to push them back here. They didn't give them the easy exit, which they had a couple of times. There's Dawson closing him down, and then they're still struggling to get out. They're just going to chip it around. Here's Cotter. If anyone can get out of the defensive 50, it's this man. One of the best halfbacks in the comp. Let's go long. Get it to the tip there. It just got over the back, and now it's just going to work out for Melton. They go forward. Trying to push it out was Melton player, and then they'll in and unders Watkins. Watkins long. With a bounce, it's just before the Ballarat player. You got to uncon bounce now, fist forward. They've got a 3-on-1 here. They should figure something out. Here goes Kite over the top. They've got a man in the square. It's Liam Carter, and Liam Carter kicks the goal.
Wow. Braden Kite's vision and capacity to pull that back square and hit the man on the chest was absolutely exceptional. But what about their patience in bringing the ball out of defence and then once again streaming forward once they had that opportunity?
Exactly right. A lot of teams, they get in that situation where they've had 5, 6, 7 chip kicks and they're not going anywhere, and they get worried, and the pressure gets to them, especially in a big final like this. First, second, they turn the ball over, but in that situation, taking their time and using the right option was really well done from Melton. Resulted in the goal.
Sure was. Back in the middle of McPherson Park. Just 1 point separates the sides in our qualifying final. Ball at ground level. Liston beset upon by Melton and dispossessed. Just a little slow in getting the ball off there. Winning the free kick is Jack Walker. Sends his side forward. McIntyre moved into his path. Streaming away. That was Blackburn. Went on the left. Here's Manito. The build-up's good for Melton. Pumps it inside 50. Braden Kite flies. He was about third in line. Here's an opportunity for the Bloods. Not able to get his kick away was Lachlan Hickey, and he's dispossessed of the football.
Great
and it's
tackle.
going to be the Swans on the last line of defence.
Beautiful pressure from Ballarat there, and a great tackle. Is they're going to go, is Baldwin, go wider. Nearly sold himself in a little bit of trouble, but he's going to hand the responsibilities off. We go down, Melton nearly win it back, and Walker's happy to see it go over the boundary line. Good seesawing affair here at McPherson Park. It's what you'd expect from first, second final. It's back in Powling and McIntyre. Probably an even ruck contest there. And then in and under was the Melton player. He calls play on the umpire and still trying to get it, and then he does get it out. Well done. That was Hickey. Couldn't find a teammate. Now they do. Just trying to find space is pretty difficult in here. They're like bees to a honeypot. There's a stoppage. The outer wing.
21 plays 20. Very engaging, enthralling contest between two terrific sides. The takeaway is with Jacob Hickey, smothered, Liston by hand, offloads the Swans with a scrubbing, awful sort of kick forward, but it does travel some distance, which is proving effective. Sweeping handball from Daniel Kennedy. Now the Swans inside 50. Good use of the body there. Hooper takes possession, swings onto the left, straightens up onto the right, kicks across the face of goal. Through for a minor score, missing to the far side. And they edge ahead by one. The Swans 3-4-22, leading the home side. That is Melton 3-3-20.
Just wondering if Hooper would have his time again there. He had a couple of options inside, but it's all right. He'll learn as Cotter has the ball. The best decision makers kicks to in front of his teammate. Mark was spilled by Heaney, and now trying to get the ball out was Watkins. It does get to Carter, and Van der Heevel's happy to see it over the boundary line.
Yeah, great contest, that one between Van der Heuvel and Carter. I tell you what, Van der Heuvel is just within a metre of Carter at every possible moment.
Great defending. It's McIntyre and Powling. Neither of them getting close to the ball. Then Powling tapping it in the James direction. James just getting out of the ball's way, and then Fife trying to put his head over it and getting slammed without it. The umpire was blindsided, couldn't see. He'll have a stoppage. He was unlucky on that occasion because he got tackled without it, but it's all right. Hopefully he can get the next one.
Low throw in up by the umpire there on that occasion. Favoured McIntyre, although another pack's going to form, and we'll have another ball up as it's Watkins, who had buried his Swans rival. Once again, McIntyre, front position, quick kick comes from the boot of Jack Walker, sky high. Players set themselves. Good work on that occasion by Liam Carter, who immediately moves the ball forward by foot and finds a teammate. And that is Luke Heaney, who is marked pretty much directly in front, some 35 metres out from goal. He's gone well back beyond the 50 for the run-up, and an opportunity to put his side in front for the first time today. He's kicking to the northern end here at McPherson Park. He sets sail for goal. It is not accurate. It is missing to the left, fisted over the line by the Swans defence. And it's a one-point ball game here in our Carlton Draft 2022 Final Series qualifying final. Ballarat 3-4, lead Melton 3-3.
Waitman to kick in. He's got a free player in Fraser if he can get it to him. He's just going to go to the contest with the ruckman. Fraser still might get it. Pushes forward. He can't. And James sees it over the boundary line in contest with Suit up. Back in. It's been a very interesting ruck battle between McIntyre and Powling. I don't know if I'm giving it the points to so far. It'll be interesting to see how it plays out. Powling definitely getting the points on that time, and then getting it back down with a secondary tap to Liston. Liston trying to run the ball down, but then Melton winning it back, and a good tackle. It's getting thrown the play. The Locals want the free kick. Umpire wasn't falling for it. Good tackle from Baldwin. That's a stoppage. Just in front of us. Here, the ball up. Powling really starting to get on top, I think, and now trying to throw the ball on the route, trying to get it forward. Gets rid of his player, was Hickey, but then couldn't gather the ball, and in and under his Fife, couldn't quite, trying to get the ball in. Fife again, trying to handball it to Kennedy, and then in the middle, here goes Waitman. Waitman handballs out. The Locals want the free kick. Here's Cotter. He'll make the right decision. No, he gets taken out. Tackled as he kicked it, and it's the commentator's curse, isn't it, Wes?
He was going for the outside of the boot, and it, unfortunately for him, it hit the inside of the boot and straight over the line. So here's an opportunity for Fraser to build up for the Swans. He pumps it long on the left. The big men set themselves. Was a little bit of body work happening there, and the mark's taken by Brenton Payne at left half back. So Payne surveys the landscape in front of him and then chooses to go sideways. He sets a task for Watkins because it was a little overcooked on that occasion. He in turn goes in the Hanley direction. The ball fisted over the boundary line, and will resume with a boundary throw in between the interchange gates here at McPherson Park. 15 minutes have gone in our Ballarat Toyota match of the day, and it's the Swans by 1 point.
It's in now. McIntyre and Powling. James couldn't grab it, and then coming through. McIntyre gets his own ball, but that was well intercepted from the Ballarat player in Prendergast. Now he puts it to the 1-on-1, and a good defensive mark. He tripped over his own feet. That won't be 50. It was a good contest and a great mark, and now he wants to go quickly, but he turns the ball over. The Ballarat player's going to get it back off his mark and try and find someone here. This is Kennedy. Kennedy to the hot spot, and Hooper. Hooper's got to be two. He couldn't. Now hit down in front. Here they go, Melton. They can get them on the fast break here. He runs into trouble, though. The umpire says play on. Gets through Baldwin's hands. Handball now, Cotter. Will he get rid of it? He will. And now from Watkins, and now out wide to Mawson. Mawson running onto it. He's got to trap the ball and then make the right decision. He gets rid of his opponent, but then gets caught. The umpire says dump tackle. So he'll have the free kick. Harry Mawson. We can all just take a breath for a second as Mawson will weigh up his options. He's going to go for the switch, and it looks like it could be on across the ground to Payne. Now Payne to Walker. Walker with a chiseling kick, and never really looks on target. It's out of bounds on the full. Couldn't hit Braden Kite out on the outer side, and here go Ballarat.
Yeah, normally good disposal, Walker. Not so on that occasion. Van der Heuvel now for the Swans. And they'll put the switch into effect. Fraser, well, he was the intended target. It missed him by a really long way. And that opens the door ajar for Lachlan Hickey. Over the top to Kyle Borg. He swings on it to the right and kicks the goal. Borg boots one for Melton. And that gives the home side, in fact, the number one ranked side in the competition, entering this contest with just 2 losses across the course of the season. The Bloods have captured the lead for the first time today. They move along to 4-3-27, leading Ballarat 3-4-22 on the Ballarat Toyota scoreboard.
It was interesting, that play, wasn't it? I think they went to go back, and I think the thing that really stuck out to me was how tired Bailey Fraser was from all that defensive running. And then when you make a mistake like that, cause from the exhaustion, it's hard to get back and defend it. So he'll be back.
He was certainly set a task, wasn't he?
Definitely, and McGrath gets it down to James. James being held. The umpire says play on. No, he sees it. So James will get the free kick. And suddenly Ballarat need a steadier here. Can the captain provide the opportunity? Gets it inside. It goes over the back as a free kick, and it's going the way of Melton. Locals be happy to see that. Awarded. That's Blake Suter. Always in the middle of everything. Here's Suter. He goes for a dash and then down the line. Not saying we've seen too much of Melton today. Now, just overrunning the ball with Kennedy and then picking it up. Good hands out two, and Fraser was on the end of the kick and well set up. It was probably a 3-on-1, but then Grove in the ball and kicking the goal. Ballarat running through the front and centre, and Paddy Simpson kicking the goal. It's a quick forward entry. They had the out number, and then running through, Paddy Simpson, right spot at the right time, and he wasn't going to miss that one, Wes.
No, Simpson joins Hooper, who's booted 2, and Fraser on the goal kickers list for Ballarat. For Melton, we have got goals to Carter, Kite, Borg, and I'm missing one, and we'll come back to that in the not too distant future. But it's a 1-point ball game here in the Carlton Draft Final Series qualifying final. Our Ballarat Toyota match of the day. Powling leaps high over Mawson on that occasion. Good work by Liston. Works it out to the advantage of a teammate. Moving it forward. Quick hands by the Swans. The lead's on Hooper. Takes the mark, streaming out of the top of the goal square. And Hooper using that sharpness of speed that he has been able to demonstrate right through to the elite level of our great game, will have a shot on goal. He'll kick from a 45-degree angle and have to set sail from about 25 metres out. He comes in now to the southern end of McPherson Park. He is missing to the right. Just the minor score for Hooper. It's a 2-point ball game. Ballarat 4-5-29, leading the Bloods 4-3-27. We have gone 20 minutes into the second quarter of our qualifying final.
Running the ball out now for Melton. Is Payne and then gets it wide to Walker. Walker looks at his option in front of him, and then good kicked back here, and they're going to take their time and just try and get it forward. It running back and taking a good mark was Heaney. Now Heaney, does he want to go through the middle or keep going down the boundary side? He's going to try and nudge into the middle. Getting the nudge in the back was Kite there, but then it's in congestion. James, and now winning the ball is Walker again. Hands out. Good work from Ballarat to move it forward here. They're starting to get on top in that contested ball. Now long left foot. Who's going to jump over the pack in? Gets out the back, and running after it was Simpson, and it runs out of bounds. 21 minutes gone in this second quarter. 4-3-27 to 4-6-29. The Ballarat Toyota match of the day.
Plenty on this game. Really, an opportunity emerges for the Swans. Quick snap on goal. They've pulled one back. And now they've gone 8 points further ahead. 21 and a half minutes gone. And a terrific snap goal from the Swans. They move along to 5-5-35, leading Melton 4-3-27. 8-point ball game. Just spotting up that player, Archie.
That was Will Garner.
Will
Kicked
Garner.
that goal.
Great goal by Will Garner.
Great work from Ballarat again, just with it being ready at all times. The stoppage there, presenting numbers. They're taking the most of their opportunities, unlike the first quarter. Back in the middle, McIntyre and Powling down, straight down the list, and loses the ball as he's tackled. And then another tackle from Baldwin. We'll have another stoppage in the middle. 22 minutes gone. It's good. It's really a fair here. Powling and McIntyre wins the hit now, and then good hands from Simpson. It goes forward again. Can they kick another one? Dawson just overrunning it. The ball was him, and then outright to Walker. Then trying to win it's Manito. It gets out the back. They could go inside 50 again. Here goes Simpson. Kick the last. Gets it inside. Was it to the tip of the goal square? Good defensive. No, he drops the ball. And there's a free kick being paid. No, it's going the way of Melton. It's going to go to Brenton Payne.
He's got such great hands, Richie.
Goes wide and out Walker, and then trying to hit up teammate and Kite, and goes out of bounds. They're just struggling with their ball movement a little bit here, Melton. Transitioning from offense to defense. It's been a while since they've seen that bold decision making, trying to go through the middle.
Ball thrown in. McIntyre, front position. Powling reaches over the top. Kennedy, oh no, in fact it's Fife, wrapped up in the tackle. And they'll hand it back to the umpire. Yeah, I'm really impressed with Brenton Payne's hands. He's taken a number of one-grab marks today. Bursting away is Riley Walker, throws the ball on the boot. He's been really solid today. Now an opportunity emerges. Here's Borg, streams forward, takes a bounce, being run down by the Swans from behind, kick towards the top of the square, on full stretch, not able to take the mark, taken to ground. And that is where the umpire is going to intervene, albeit there's a little bit of push and shove between a couple of players. And
umpire not getting sucked into it. Very well umpired.
Yeah, Harrison Hanley had the grab and just couldn't quite cling onto it. It was a pretty tough opportunity. Kite, in fact, Hickey sends it skyward. The big leap from behind and the ball.
Oh, to get a boot on it.
Come off a boot. The goal umpire is going to confer with the field umpire, but I tell you what, the Melton Bloods are pretty optimistic about this. There's a little bit of conversation going. I reckon that was Kyle Ball that was claiming it.
I thought it was Jack. Yeah, it could, man.
Just a bit of conversation going on right now, and it's a goal. So once again, that was a really scrappy passage of play, and it wasn't Borg. You're exactly right,
Jack
Archie.
Walker.
And once again, they're not normally having so much difficulty figuring out who might have kicked the goal. It was Jack Walker. Well done, Archie Burley, picking that one. And it's a 2-point ball game once again. As Melton kicked their fifth, Jack Walker was almost like the ball just was crumbed at ground level and didn't need to take contact.
Back in the middle, James being dispossessed, and Melton got a little bit of ascendancy here. James wants it back, puts it in the direction of Dawson. Can he win this one-on-one? It's bouncing out of bounds, and he seems quite happy, along with Blake Suter, to see that one go out of bounds. I think McIntyre will take the ruck here and be against McGrath. Both tussling it out. Short throw in. Neither ruckman getting to it. They've got some space out the back now. Trying to win it was Kite. He gets the ball forward, and then in the pass of Carter. Carter, good hands, and then Drone trying to just to have a fresh area off the ground. Now these guys are other Carter. They get it forward. One-on-one. There's no one behind these players, so they get it forward. It could be one for the races. He just sits on this one, this player, and the umpire calls holding for the ball. Didn't have any attempt to get rid of it, and then doesn't want to give the 50 away as Waitman. Here's Ryan Carter, owing long and strong. Netherham Van der Hevel, who's his direct opponent, does very well getting back there. He needed him to be on the end of that kick, not taking it. As they'll transition into attack here, Ballarat. It's Garner. It's up Prendergast. Now 27 minutes gone. Are they going to be happy to see go in with a 2-point lead? Or are they going to try and get one more back? It goes in the direction of McGrath and Mawson does very well. Chooses the right option and wins the ball back for Melton. So go here. Ballarat seem to have players behind the ball, so they might be happy to run the rest of this clock down. Although they've got a free player in Liston. Liston going to go quickly on. Here they go, Ballarat. Can they find their target inside 50? Hooper pushing the back. The umpire sees it and pays the free kick. Andrew Hooper is going to have a shot to put Ballarat up by 8 points. With not long to go in the second quarter. Huge goal going into half-time. Not only for the momentum, also the belief in the Ballarat from 35 metres out. Kicks. It should be pretty easy for a player of his calibre, and he slots it. That's his third goal. Countless opportunities as well. He could have a huge bag, but He's kicked 3 and he's been dangerous. It just seems every time the ball goes near him into his path, his opponents are starting to get worried, be man on man, and that's what happens when you're dangerous forward. You'll start winning free kicks off the ball, and 5-3, 33 to 6-5, 41 on the Ballarat Toyota scoreboard, 28 and a half minutes gone.
Cracking contest, exchange of goals, real arm wrestle, the takeaway with Melton, swinging onto the left and kicking towards half forward, one-on-one situation. Taken by the Bloods, that was Watkins, looping handball over the top to Hickey. Hickey sends it forward. Carter, third in line. Oh, man in front. Was that a mark? No, it wasn't. The fist initially was with the Swans. Taken on this occasion by Heaney. Kicks towards the top of the square and the mark taken by the Bloods. Well, the Swans will lament that as we find that Lachlan Walker's been able to create some space and just position himself nicely. The fall of the ball, he got to the front. And now we'll have a set shot for goal. Kicking to the northern end of McPherson Park. Number of Swan supporters behind the goal, endeavouring to put him off, no doubt. He comes in now. Walker makes the goal umpire work, but he kicks it. Gains the congratulations of his teammates as he kicks his first goal of the game. And now Melton move along to 6-3-39. They trail by 2 points. Ballarat 6-5-41. That's on the Ballarat Toyota scoreboard. This is, of course, the Carlton Draft 2022 Final Series. Our Ballarat Toyota match of the day, proving to be an absolute cracker, Archie.
Well, that was just saying out of nothing, wasn't it? Was Ballarat working so hard for that goal to give them the ascendancy going to half-time, and then out of nothing, really, Melton just walking out of the middle and creating that goal. It's going to hurt if you're a Ballarat fan watching that happen. Anyway, we're back in the middle. There's still some time. Powling gets it down, and here you go Melton again, putting in the front of Heaney. Heaney just kind of overrunning it, but then getting it back into the middle to Hickey. Hickey being run down by Waitman. The umpire says play on. Walker with a chiseling kick over the top, and it's going to run out of bounds. Couldn't hit up. Kite on the lead. After I said there wasn't long to go at the 27-minute mark, we've played another 3.5 minutes, so I won't say it again, but nearly 31 minutes gone. Bit of a long quarter. It's down. Powling. Good tap into space. Can they get the ball back? Oh, here's a shot from the pocket. Could he kick it from here? No, it just goes across the face from Braden Kite. Been dangerous around goal, Braden Kite. Surely now, Ballarat are just trying to run out the remainder of the clock as Waitman's going to get it in the back pocket. He's got a man on if he wants him short, but he's going to go a little bit longer. And as the siren goes for half-time, Melton 6-4-40 to Ballarat 6-5-41. 32 minutes gone in that second quarter of the Ballarat Toyota match of the day. It's living up to everything we wanted, isn't it, Wes?
Certainly is. It's hitting expectations, this contest. It's an absolute cracker. Ballarat 6-5-41, leading Melton 6-4-40, looking to the goal kickers list, and for the Swans, leading by just the 1 point. Andrew Hooper's booted 3, and we have singles to Bailey Fraser, Will Garner and Paddy Simpson, and there's 6 individual goal kickers for the Bloods. Braden Kite has 1, Jack Walker, Lachlan Walker, Kyle Borg, Lachlan Hickey and Liam Carter. Terrific contest. We are going to take the McCafe Ballarat half-time break. Our thanks to all of our sponsors, including Carlton Draft for their support of the final series, McCafe for the half-time break, and of course Ballarat Toyota, who bring you the Ballarat Toyota match of the day. We hope you're enjoying it. At half-time, it's Ballarat 6-5-41, leading Melton 6-4-40.
As proud sponsors of the Ballarat Football Netball League, we love supporting local.
And love community sport, and we encourage everyone to get out there, support your local football and netball league, and of course, support local business.
Welcome back to our Ballarat Toyota match of the day with Wes Custworth and Archie Burley. It's part of the Carlton Draft Final Series for 2022. Our qualifying final is an absolute arm wrestle. Ballarat 6-5-41, leading Melton 6-4-40 as the umpire holds the ball aloft to get this third quarter under action. And to bring you the first of it is Archie Burley.
Powling does all right against McIntyre on that occasion, but a good handball out into the space of Hantley. Grabs the ball, running down, but a good tackle coming from behind from Garner. Not rewarded, but here they go out from McPherson, and then good kick out to the wing. If it can get over the back, it will, and it will be a stoppage. Great run out of the middle there from Hantley. Haven't seen much of him today, but hopefully he can start to make his way into the contest.
Just an around-the-ground score, Archie. Sebastopol 4-6-30, leading North Ballarat 2-6-18. So both sides a little inaccurate.
McIntyre goes and grabs his own ball and then gets it over the top to Walker. Walker, good to Hickey. Hickey, can he hit someone? It gets over the back. Here he goes. Oh, Borg had a shot and couldn't slot it. Still chasing after the ball, and then happy to see it out of bounds. It's dangerous when it comes inside Kyle Borg.
He's an exciting young player, there's no question of that. As the ruckmen set themselves once again, it's going to be Carter doing the ruck work inside 50 for Melton. That's of the Ryan variety. He's up against Powling. He palms it down with the left, that Carter. There's a whistle, there's a hold, and it's going to go the way of the Bloods. And this is going to be a set shot from no great distance. And you'd imagine this is a perfect opportunity for Melton to recapture the lead as we see Lachlan Watkins pretty much directly in front. Will kick from about 30 metres out to avoid getting too close to the man on the mark. He's kicking to the right of your screen, of course, which is the southern end, and he misses to the left in what is a disappointing result for the Bloods, as the scores are now level here at McPherson Park. 6-5-41 apiece between Melton and Ballarat.
We start again, don't we? Back from square one. As Dominic has it in the right back pocket. Risky kick inside. Oh, it could be turned over here. Liston with the handball back. They got to mop it up here. Ballarat, they also got to be careful they don't rush it over. It's just over the head. Here's Borg in a tough position. Can he kick it from there? Coming back. No. He tried to kick the miracle goal. Kyle Borg, he was falling away. Had a little bit of Jason Ackermanis about it, but couldn't quite. And they're going to go in the pocket to Van der Hevel. And this time, go longer, not make the same mistakes as the last time. It's a good mark in defence from Liam Carter, dropping back in. And this first goal is going to be very important in the second half. Short. Now it's intercepted by Liston, but then gets it back to Carter and gets it in the direction of his brother. It just gets dropped in front, and not being able to gather the ball was Jack Blackburn. It's a bit of feeling in this one. So we'll have a throw in 50 metres out from Melton's goal.
1 point advantage with Melton. Ballarat's led for the bulk of the contest. Shallow throw in on this occasion. Taken by the Bloods. Jacob Hickey pumps it towards the goal square. Carter goes at it with one hand. The ball over the back. Height. Can he gather possession? Keeps the ball in. The Swans do very well to move the ball forward, but only so far, as about 30 metres out. The quick kick on goal comes from Jacob Hickey, and he's pulled it back. And now the advantage is 7 points with Melton as they kick their seventh. 7-6-48, leading Ballarat 6-5-41, the turnover, and proving very, very costly indeed for Ballarat. And 4 minutes into this third quarter, the advantage 7 points with Melton.
Oh, great work from Jacob Hickey. I think only, 30 seconds before it in the previous contest, he had a bit more time than he thought, and he could have done exactly what he did then, and then learnt from his mistake, just rushing it, throwing it on the boot, and settled there and kicked a great goal from 30 metres out. So back in the middle, McIntyre and Powling. Powling getting it down, and Here you go, Melton again. They're starting to win all the contests as it comes off the wrong side of the boot, but it's going to work out for him. It's play on. Here's McIntyre. He's going to send it long inside 50. Can Carter get on the end of this? Flies and just take the mark. Liam Carter from the side, and oh no, he's given it. He's given the free kick instead of the mark. It's a little bit disappointing. I thought the advantage would be played in that situation, and you just give it to the man who marked the ball. But anyway, they're going to have a shot from 15 metres out and should kick the goal anyway. Here's Harrison Hantley to give them a 13-point margin. He kicks the goal, 13-point lead, and they start to stretch this ascendancy. Melton. It was good contest, wasn't it? Inside 50 and coming across. Carter, Liam Carter on that occasion. It's disappointing the mark wasn't paid, but they get the goal nonetheless.
Well, Hanley joins the Hickeys, the Walkers, Borg, Kite and Ryan Carter on the goal kickers list. 8 individual goal kickers for Melton. 8-6-54, 13-point leaders, game high lead over Ballarat, 6-5-41. They kicked 14 and a quarter against East Point. Is this happening again? They've kicked 2 in the opening 6 minutes of this third quarter. And we'll have another ball up. As Powling and McIntyre go at it. Powling wins it down. Crumb by McIntyre. Let it go at that particular point. The umpire said that was okay. A couple of heads butt. One of them was that of Jack Walker. And then ultimately we'll have another ball up. And the ball remains in the middle of McPherson Park with the advantage 13 points to the side playing on their home territory today. And there's a little bit happening off the ball, and I tell you what, there's a number of Melton players not too happy with Will Liston, but the retaliator costs, and now Liston gets a free kick.
As so often happens, the free kick gets reversed, and now Liston goes wide to Sam James, the captain, sends a bit of a floater inside. Can Dawson mark it? He can't. Gets out now. Here you go, Melton. Hickey over the top into a bit of space. He tries to run and grab the ball again, but it's well done from Liston to win it back, and it's a contest in the middle, and they go at each other a little bit. It's going to be a free kick paid. I thought the Melton player was dragged down, but it's going to go the way of Ballarat. Bit of feeling in this one. Powling going to enter 50 here and go long and high. Can Hooper get on the end of this? It gets out the back. Here they go. They go through Suda, and Carter's got 3 to beat. He does okay, and Fraser, good hit-up kick to his teammate in Fife. Indy Fife. They have to kick from 50. It's a huge kick in the context of this match.
Well, he's got a bit of confidence about himself here.
The starter wasn't so sure, but it looks like he could be half a chance. He's going to have to give it absolutely everything, especially at this end. Kicks, gives it all. It was never coming back the right way. Here goes Powling over the top. Couldn't quite. Wes, good tackle, follow-up from Powling. It was, and just couldn't capitalise, but they've still got an opportunity, Ballarat. So go, bounces, neither. Liston, try to hack it out of mid-air, and it's going to be a minor score. 8-6-54 to 6-6-42. Melton leading.
First Ballarat score of the third quarter. Short options on from the kick-in. Melton, they'll switch now. Look to come to the Comets side of the ground. No, in fact, they choose to go up straight up the corridor. So the Bloods in the ascendancy by 12 points. This is Phillips. Sends it out wide. It's a one-on-one situation. Good work. Body work there by Carter. Now he wheels around to the right. Oh, sells a bit of candy then. Pumps it long inside 50. Brayden Kite attacks the contest. Gathered by Watkins. Swings around onto the right. Sends it sky high. Borg might leap. He does so. Has the ball fisted away. Nutmegs Carter. Now the ball at ground level. Just 30 metres out from the Melton goal. Whistle blows, and it's a hold, and it's going to go the way of the Swans. They have an opportunity to repel with 9 minutes gone in this third quarter. The Ballarat Toyota scoreboard says it's a 12-point margin. Melton in the ascendancy.
Can exit through Baldwin, I think it is. It goes wide along that boundary line. Well, picked up from 5, trying to fend off 2. The umpire says play on as Melton win it back with a quick, hurried ball inside 50 and well set up for the Ballarat Swans. They've got to exit. They can switch if they can. They will switch, but the kick wasn't up to it. Here's Borg from 50. Can he kick the goal? He goes to the tip of the goal square, and as they have been so many times today, set up behind the ball well is Ballarat, and Waitman takes the mark in defence. Just waiting for his troops to get across the other side of the ground. Looks like he's aiming for Dominic. If he wants him to fly it, falls short of the net. McPherson takes nearly an uncontested mark. Go back down again. So one-on-one with Dawson. He couldn't get front position. It was well done from Phillips, and now he does win the ball. Gets driven into the back, and the umpire sees that. So they're going to try and pull the trigger through the middle, or they're going to hold on to it. He is. It's a kick all of 8 metres. The umpire does pay the mark. Might have been lucky to get away with that one, and then go from Blackburn to Vanderheeven, and then just chip it through. Cautious approach to Prendergast. Here they go. Who's going to fly for this one? It's up there. It's no run. Oh, the umpire says play on. I thought it was a mark to the Ballarat player. Umpire's been under a bit of pressure there. Well done from him. Keep his cool, and we'll have a stoppage 55 minutes out from the Ballarat goal.
54 plays 42 on the Ballarat Toyota scoreboard. Palm to ground. We're going to have another ball up as the pack forms over the football, and there's no extracting that football. This time the ball just edged a couple of metres further forward into the Ballarat 50. Powling, big leap. Leading the contest is Cotter. Overruns the footy, eventually spills out, and eventually spills out over the boundary line. Bit of tension starting to develop in the game, a little bit of push and shove between a couple of players. Some wiser heads prevail and ask for some intervention. 54 plays 42, 12 minutes travelled in this third quarter. Hope you're enjoying the coverage of the Carlton Draft Final Series in the Ballarat Football Netball League, brought to you by Ballarat Toyota.
Ball in, 45 out. McIntyre gets it down, running through was the Ballarat player, couldn't get his hands free. It's a good tackle from behind, and the umpire says no prior opportunity. We'll have another stoppage. Dangerous around these stoppages. Ballarat bursting through. Got to be careful. Powling just gets muscled out of the way from McIntyre. Couldn't really have any impact though, and McIntyre gets the free kick for in the back. A booming kick is Brett McIntyre. He's just going to take a bit off it and hit a target up on defensive flank. So I go back to go forward. Is Cotter a little bit quiet in the past 10 minutes. Luckily just hugging the boundary rope, but keeping it in. Going to go slowly up the outer side. Is Walker. Has Mawson on, but wants to go longer to Hickey. And Hickey's got to beat 2, and it's well set up, although dropping the mark was McPherson, and they're going to exit with handballs, trying to get on the end of it. And now does is Jake Dunn, but he sees it go over the boundary line.
Eight 6 plays 6-6, just 2 straight kicks separate the sides. Melton with 2 goals in this third quarter. Ballarat just the one behind. Ball thrown in. McIntyre, front position, palms it to ground. Borg, looping hairball over the top. Missed the target of Manito. Taken by Liston, swings onto the left. Bit of an up and under, Bailey Mawson. His opponent slipped. That was Daniel Kennedy, and that just left Bailey Mawson to take largely an uncontested mark at right half back. His side leading by 2 goals. Oh, the kick juggled. Umpire blew the whistle. He's going to stand with that and say that that's a mark to Harrison Hanley. So a little fortuitous for Hanley. Didn't quite hold it for as long as perhaps one might expect he should have. Short option is very short indeed. Finds Jacob Hickey. Squares. Mawson. So Mawson's got a few options, including Cotter out wide. Chooses to wheel around onto the right and then goes to the commentary side of the ground, hugging the boundary. This is Hanley. Hanley inboard. Not a great option there on that occasion. Turns the footy over. Here's the Swans. Real up and under kick. And getting across and taking it is Cotter, who's been, well, let's just say, had a quiet patch, but at the same time still gathering plenty of possession.
Coming back into it now, though, isn't he? The prolific ball winner, as you speak of. And now Jack Walker wants to go wide over the side of the ground. They're going to try and stretch them here. Cotter wants them to come back over this side, and they may. Here's Payne. He goes short to Watkins. Now Cotter still wants it. I'd give it to him if I was him. He's still on his own. Now he's going to get it. Jordan Cotter. And why wouldn't you give it to him? It's good. Short kick.
Certainly don't mind going sideways, do they, as they pick their way through this Ballarat defensive web.
We've seen this before. Here's Walker. They just go slow, and then next thing you know, bang, they've got a goal. They just pull the trigger so fast, and that one's punched at it.
Well, what Ballarat's doing is they're making sure that there is no 14-goal third quarter, as we saw from Melton against East Point, because they are just closing things down in a one-on-one situation constantly.
McIntyre gets it down. Well done from James, trying to get the hands over the top. And then Ballarat just going to take the time here. Good, well-weighted kick in front of the big Rockman and Powling. Powling shorter to Baldwin and further afield. He's going to send this one inside 50. Can someone take a mark? Hooper looks like he's going to fly. He doesn't. Liston tries to get to the front, but well set there's Walker. He's got a heap of space in front of him, but he's got just kicks it to a plethora of Ballarat players set up well behind the ball. Now Fraser. Now they can pull the trigger. Go shorter to Prendergast in the middle. Prendergast. He's going to try and wheel around and go, and Bailey Mawson takes a good mark in defence as Melton go into attack through Cotter. They keep going. Back to Walker. Over the top. Finds Hanley. Hanley. Handball to Borg. 35. Closing goal. Great goal from Kyle Borg. And how good was that from Melton? The slow build-up. Short kicks creating the space, and then...
Well, they're patient, aren't they?
Kyle Borg with the finish. He loves the early celebration as well.
He's the sole Melton multiple goal kicker, Archie. And all of a sudden, 9-6 plays 6-6, and it's an 18-point ball game, and the ladder-leading Melton Bloods, who dropped just 2 games across the course of the season, one against North Ballarat and one against Sunbury. They have started to create a little bit of space. It's a game-high lead. Back in the middle of McPherson Park. Swans, Powling. Throw called against Sam James, I suspect, on that occasion. And now it's Manito. Manito pumps it inside 50. Melton second in line. Doing well, gathering possession. Quick kick around the body. It's a one-on-one of the square. Drifting back was Carter just to put his body in the way. But eventually the ball falls to ground. Oh, only so far. There's that player in Jack Walker, who kicks another one for the Bloods.
Unlucky from Van der Hevel, just getting his handball smothered.
Just waiting for the all clear, because there's a fair bit of tension in this one. Yes, there's the all clear. The goal umpire gesticulates with 2 hands. And all of a sudden it's a 24-point ball game. And that goal coming from Jack Walker, that's his second of the contest. And now it's Melton moving along to 10-6-66, 24-point leaders over Ballarat. 6-6-42, still without a goal in this third term. We have gone some 19 minutes in the third quarter of the Ballarat Toyota match of the day.
They've given a free kick out of the middle. They're going to go here, Melton. It's all happening. Borg gets it. And then handballs back to Manito, and he's just going to go inside 50 again. They're all over at the moment. Melton, Carter in the contest, and good defensive mark from Bailey van der Hevel. That's what they need, just to calm it down. Here's James dashing out of that half-back line and then kicking along it, but fouling, and a good fist out from Bailey Mawson. The locals love him. So he says he'll take the ruck contest against Marcus Powling. Got to try and find a way to first stop the scoring and then edge a couple back before three-quarter time. Ballarat over the ball. Well done, trying to kick it out, and then an up and under kick from Kennedy. Fist out into space. Borg will get this one. No, coming to Manito. Now Manito kicks a bit of a scrubber, but it gets over the head of Hickey, and then Hickey wins the ball and kicks it into space. It was a 1-on-2 inside 50. The players were about 40 metres apart, but there was only one defender and just couldn't get it to Liam Carter. Would have been a certain goal if he did.
Still not a real bad result for Melton there. It's just 45 metres out from goal. Controlled the stoppages a lot better. As Carter does the ruck work inside 50 once again. Has front position against Powling. Palms it down to the advantage of Watkins. Scrubbing sort of kick forward. Borg runs onto it. What can he create? He pulls it back on the right. He misses to the near side. The margin's 25 points, 10-7, 67. That's Melton plays Ballarat, 6-6-42.
I'll kick in Ballarat. Now along down the line. Hope that Powling flies here. He will, but over the top was Cotter impacting the stoppage. A couple of quick handballs do well. Here's James. He'll make the right decision. He does. And now they're just slowly creeping up that wing, trying to get the defensive stoppage. But good mark from Dunn, I think it was. It was Dunn. Jake Dunn just puts into space. Can Fife do something here? He gets the stoppage, and that was professionally done from the Melton player to act like he fumbled that out of bounds when I think that was the only place he was ever going.
We know that Andrew Hoop is one of the most dangerous players on the field for Ballarat. They just cannot get the ball up to him frequently enough, can they?
Might have to come up to maybe half forward so he can impact the game a little bit more. This comes in 45 metres out from the Ballarat goal. James just trying to burst his way through, and then so forth was... It was Fife on that occasion, but he just gets crunched by two Melton players. Great defensive pressure from Melton. Done it all day.
Mawson leaps, but it's going to be Dunn that does better against Ballarat. Although it's Melton with the takeaway. Nice gather on that occasion by Carter. Does beautifully. The rocket handball inside to Brock Kennedy. And now streaming away as Lachlan Hickey puts the ball into space. Oh, this is interesting. Let's see how this one develops. As we see Jack Walker doubling back. He's booted 2 goals already. He's beset upon by a pair of Swans, and we'll have a ball up some 35 metres out from goal. 45-degree angle. Approaching the 23rd minute mark of our third quarter in our Ballarat Toyota match of the day. 67 plays 42.
Up, Carter versus Powling. Into winning it and then just throwing on the boot from James, and just about sums up their quarter. Captain trying to get it out, but it's going to go down the full, coming off the side of his boot. And Bailey Mawson, what a quarter he's had. Didn't see much of him in the first half, but he's really come to light. Playing half-back and ruck, and he puts the long ball, looking for a Carter. Can't take the mark, but then Ryan got the ball, and can they make a better decision this time? Here's James trying to hit it up, and back to Mawson. Just couldn't reel that one in, and we'll have a stoppage just in front of us. 23 and a half minutes gone. 10-7-67 to 6-6-42. Melton enjoying the lead. Need to do something here. Mawson in the ruck. Powling be dominant. He just does. He just fists it forward into the path of Liston, and Cotter is happy to see that one go over the boundary line.
And the kids jump at the opportunity to get their hands on the Sharon. No doubt aspirational of following their heroes into action in senior company in years to come, Archie.
Back into it. Bailey Mawson, front position, did well there, even the contest, and then won the ball and got the hands out. Well done from Bailey Mawson. Gets it to Hickey. Hickey puts it to goal side. It was nearly marked by Luke Heaney, but he just couldn't juggle that one. Gets hit out of bounds, and we'll have a stoppage 60 metres out from Melton's goal.
Yeah, approaching the 25-minute mark of our third quarter in the Ballarat Toyota match of the day. Good work by McIntyre. Manito takes possession, then he is taken by a pair of Ballarat Swans, and the umpire says we'll have another ball up. 67 plays, 42, 25-point margin. There's just 1 point separated the sides, and it was Ballarat in the ascendancy by that very slender margin at half-time. Quick kick forward by Melton. On full stretch, the Bloods. Knocked off the footy. Hickey was in the action. Bill spills out, and then a number of players grab it. Good work by Lachlan. Hickey sends it forward. Doesn't travel the necessary distance. The Swans take it, and then in very, very desperate manner, Melton lock it in and ensure there is a ball up just some 30 metres out from their goal.
Still in the ruck is Mawson. No, it's changed now, but well done from Townley to get it down, and good contest there as well. Have another stoppage. Scrappy footy here, I reckon. Ballarat got to pull the trigger now. They can't leave this margin to get all in the last quarter. It's a good tackle, wraps up there. They've got numbers behind the ball here, Melton. Done well. Here's Borg with the inside kick just over the head of McIntyre. He juggles it and then gets it. Now here's Mawson. The wider handball to Manito. Can he hit someone? He can. And then he handballs it off to Cotter, and Cotter, can he kick it from 55? Of course he can! What a goal from Jordan Cotter! And he never looked like having a shot. The man of the mark handballed it off. I think it was Harrison Hanley. Cotter was in a better position, and that booming boot. Suddenly he's had a very, very good day, Jordan Cotter. As Melton it rolling down that hill to the next final.
They sure are. They've booted 5 third-quarter goals, and they've stretched the lead out to 31 points here at McPherson Park. You can hear the throng of Melton supporters just below us. They're very, very animated, and they're pretty excited about the way in which their team's travelling right at the moment after what was a very tight first half. Ridden into the turf is Jack Walker. The umpire says we'll have a ball up. There was nothing untoward about it. 11-7 plays 6-6, 27 minutes gone in this third quarter. They're just about singing the song already, I think, down at Melton. They're pretty chipper about the way things are travelling at the moment. Liston takes possession, and then he is taken in turn by Walker and McIntyre, and the umpire says we can't extract the Sharon, so I better throw it up.
Go again here, Powling and McIntyre. Powling, good, hands down to Liston. Trying to get front possessions, Kennedy. It's well defended now. He does grab the ball and spins into trouble. Umpire says play on. Liston, can he find someone inside 50? He's getting into the direction of Hooper. Can Hooper do something about it? He can't. Dawson getting on the end of it. Can he gather? He does, but it's a good tackle. And he's given it a high tackle. So, Lockie Dawson to have maybe the biggest kick of this match so far, to keep them right in it. With 29 points. It's the current margin. To bring it back to 23 and give them a chance in that last quarter with 28 minutes gone on our Ballarat Toyota scoreboard. You need to kick this. Lockie Dawson from 30 metres out. Not much angle about it. Kicks, it looks gun barrel straight. He's just snuck it in, I think. He has. Good goal from Lockie Dawson. Seizes the moment. And Ballarat peg one back before three-quarter time. 11-7 73 to 76 48. Melton with a 23-point margin.
Well, the importance of that goal cannot be understated. Obviously, that just means the result is still within reach for Ballarat. 25 points separating the two sides. Can they pinch another late one? There have been quite a few goals kicked this term. That was the first for Ballarat, though. Here's an opportunity for them once again, although a bit of a steal there by Jacob Hickey. Swings onto the left. Awkward bouncing football. Drifting back is Nick Swain. Dispossessed. Melton can't gather clean possession. All they do now, the kick towards the top of the square. Borg's there. Carter's there. They can just about raffle it. Here's Walker. Walker back towards the advantage of Carter. Oh, Carter's got it. He'll snap around the body, and he snaps truly. Melton boot another. Right in the shadows of three-quarter time. And they move along to 12-7-79. 31-point leaders over Ballarat. 7-6-48.
Great goal from Carter, and the Melton locals are loving it. You said before they were just about singing the song. I think they are singing the song now. Wes, you almost thought they won the grand final way they're celebrating at the moment. The locals, that is, as we're back in the middle. Ballarat need to try and get one back before this three-quarter time siren. Will be a longer quarter, so had some goals kicked. Here goes Baldwin. In. Can someone take a mark? It was holding. No, the umpire says play on. Now, crashing in it is Waitman. Couldn't win it. Here's Cotter on the left foot. They're well set up, though, Ballarat. They'll take the mark. We have a shot. I don't know if he has the distance from here. Domick, and he... Well, we're going to find out. You sure it's Aiden Domick? They have to kick at 55 to clear the line, and it'd be a huge kick. He's going to go to the barrel. You have to give it everything. Here we go. He's giving it. No, he never really gave it a chance, and Cotter's happy to see that one go over the boundary line. Three-quarter time, and Melton with the ascendancy, 12-7-79 to 7-6-48. It's going to have to take something pretty special for Ballarat to come back in this last quarter, Wes.
Yeah, absolutely. Still certainly not out of the question. We know that Ballarat's a highly accomplished lineup. They trail by 31 points, but they did concede 6 third-quarter goals. They booted one themselves, and where they led by 1 point at half-time, they now trail by 31 points. Let's look to the score sheet where for Melton, Jack Walker and Kyle Borg have 2 goals apiece, and singles to Jacob Hickey, Jordan Cotter, Harrison Hanley, Braden Kite, Lachlan Walker, Lachlan Hickey, Liam Carter and Ryan Carter. And for Ballarat, just devoid of opportunities, really, Andrew Hooper. Anytime he has an opportunity, he certainly makes something of it. He's booted 3, but the ball just isn't getting down there often enough. And singles to Bailey Fraser, Will Garner, Lachlan Dawson and Paddy Simpson. So at three-quarter time in our Ballarat Toyota match of the day, it is the qualifying final in the Carlton Draft Final Series for 2022. It's Melton 12-7-79, leading Ballarat 7-6-48. We'll be back in just a few moments.
As proud sponsors of the Ballarat Football Netball League, we love supporting local.
And love community sport, and we encourage everyone to get out there, support your local football and netball league, and of course, support local business.
Welcome back to the last quarter of the Ballarat Toyota match of the day. The first qualifying final between Melton and Ballarat. Currently, Melton enjoying the lead 12-7-79 to Ballarat 7-6-48. The Ballarat have one last gasp in them. Can they try and kick what they need to kick, 5, 6, 7 goals to win this game? It's not beyond them. It's going to be a tough challenge. Start in the middle between McIntyre and Powling. Powling winning the tap, going through. Good hands now, sending the ball forward is Walker. Can someone get under the end of that? No, they can't, but then a good run down tackle from behind. The umpire says play on. Lachlan Watkins going to get rid of the ball, and now here they go out of defence in the path of Dawson. Dawson grabbing the ball and then trying to get rid of it. It's a good wrap-up tackle. The umpire will pay holding the ball. Great start from Melton at this stage in the game, still showing and putting in the defensive efforts. Over the top now and pushing the back was the player. The umpire did see that, so they're going to go on. They're going to take the advantage and go inside 50 quickly. It's a one-on-one with Carter, and Vander Hevel gets over the top of them. Now it's kicked out. They've got some space here at Ballarat if they want to use it. Here's Liston. He's got to get rid of it, put it in the path. They take the mark. It's over the head of the captain in James, and now tracking back is Phillips. Phillips to Cotter. Cotter just going to think his way through this and then gets pushed as he's kicked it, and it doesn't quite go over the boundary line. Now it is, as Phillips is happy to be dragged over. Exciting first minute of this last quarter, and we'll have a stoppage 45 metres out from Ballarat's goal.
Boundary umpire into play. Palms only so far as the advantage of Melton. Quick kick forward, bouncing perilously close to the boundary. Nice work by Lachlan Hickey. Back in board, couldn't quite find the man. And as a consequence, the ball over the line right in front of us, alongside the interchange gates. Hope you're enjoying the coverage in our Ballarat Toyota match of the day, the qualifying final. Melton 12-7-79, leading Ballarat 7-6-48. Boundary umpire hurls it in. McIntyre uses his body, but Powling does very well with his long reach. He's got the Michael Jordan reach. You could just about make a poster of Marcus Powling, I reckon. And
for
probably
sure.
maybe he wouldn't sell quite as many as the great Michael Jordan, but nonetheless, he's certainly got fantastic reach.
Back in now, Powling and McIntyre. Neither ruckman getting close to the ball as Watkins runs over it and then kicking long. Vander Heuvel couldn't get there on that occasion as Harrison Hanley comes through, looking and finding Braden Kite on the lead. Great, well-weighted kick in front of him. Braden Kite will have a shot from 35 metres out to probably put this a bridge too far for Ballarat. It's just huge, isn't it? 35 kicks, never really looked like a problem as he slots it. The Melton fans rejoice, knowing they are close now to progressing in the 2022 Ballarat Football League season. They'll get a week off next week. Let's go back in the middle here. He 1 points the margin as it's one out. Well done from James. He's got to try and create something for his team in the last quarter as it's good, well-weighted kick, and it's called play on from the umpire. It must have been touched off the boot. Interesting that wasn't paid a mark. 50 metres otherwise, but well done from the umpire to spot that one out. From Powling, going forward to James, well roved. Can they get a mark here? Ballarat, it's a good contest. Over the back, Hooper. It's tricky in this situation. Handball in, kick. Is it there? It's just across the face of goal. Jake Dunn having a shot there, and Jordan Cotter will bring the ball back in. 12-7-79 to 7-6-48. Ballarat trailing Melton. 4 minutes 24 gone in this last quarter of the Ballarat Toyota match of the day.
Long kick in. And the ball worked over the boundary line. The winner, of course, from this game will progress to the second semi-final next week. The loser will play in the first semi-final. And the winner of the second semi-final, of course, progresses straight into the grand final. So that is the pathway for the winner of today's game, and potentially if they can go on and win that second semi. But let's just worry about the way in which this one unfolds right at the moment. 13-7-85 plays 7-7-49. So the scoreboard at the ground, unfortunately, is a little loud at the moment. But the one you can see on your screen, as we tick towards the 6-minute mark of this fourth and final term, is in fact accurate. And you can see the ascendancy is with the Bloods. Carter, handball over the top, bounces beautifully. Melton streaming forward, looping handball. Here's another one coming up for Braden Kite. No, in fact, he chose to be unselfish. He worked it forward to the advantage of Lachlan Walker, but Ballarat Swans were good enough to get back and to prevent that being major damage, and it's just the one behind. 37 points separate the two sides again. 13-8-86 plays 7-7-49.
Being too much of a team player on that occasion, Braden Kite. Should have kicked the goal himself, but it's all right. Sure, it won't cost them at this stage. So they'll go long down the line. Coming over the top, was getting pushed out of the way, was Powling, and now it's back inside there. Defensive 50 as it gets pushed to the front. They could get another one here, coming and grabbing the ball. Oh, that was really well done at ground level from the Melton player in Watkins. Now they'll go across. Here's Baldwin. He's got to hit the kick if he wants to hit 5. He's going to go straight down the gut. And coming across, they've got numbers here, Melton. Good at ground level. Was the handball from Walker, and out McIntyre just well waits the kick in front of Watkins. Watkins out wide to ball. It's going to be 3, and no, they were well set up. The Ballarat Swans. Grant Baldwin, he's played well today. He's going to still taking the game on. Fortune favours the brave. This is the captain, Sam James. Makes 2-3 bounces, goes long into the path of Simpson. Simpson, good mark. He's got players streaming forward. He's going to go over the low, sizzling kick. It just gets over the top. Dawson's there. Here's Hooper. Can he create something? He can't. He's still roaming around. It's a great tackle from Ballarat, but they're still going to run out here. Just Carter and then Kite. Jordan goes wide, and Market's fumbled, and they'll go back in from Van der Heuvel. Hits the kick. They're 55 out from goal now, Ballarat. They need to kick one now. Goes long. Can someone take a big contested mark? They can't. Well roved, and then a high tackle. It should be paid. The umpire says play on. He may have dropped the arm, and then kicked out to one-on-one again with Van der Heuvel. Can't win it, but then now Powling gets it out. Kicks inboard. Can they take this? They won't. Now Borg's up on a run. Kicks this little chiseler. He might get it back from, he will. Little well-weighted kick from Walker. But Ballarat get the ball back into transition. Haven't had a stoppage for a long time. Now they'll go through Blackburn, and Blackburn hits up Domick, going inside 50 for Ballarat.
So Domick, we know this is beyond his range. There's a little bit of action happening a little closer to the square. Here's Prendergast, out wide, Liston, closing, misses to the near side. Just a minor score. 36 points, 6 straight kicks separate the sides. Ballarat 7-8-50, but Melton lead at 13-8-86. And we have tipped over the 8-minute mark of our fourth and final term. So if Ballarat's going to make a resurgence, they need to do it very quickly indeed.
Going to run out now and go long down that line. Jumping over the pack was Carter, but it was well roved from Walker. They've got a man with space here, which is Hanley. He wants to go. He's got a couple of pairs going inside 50. Puts it in front, and he couldn't take the mark. It's juggled, well defended by the Ballarat player. That was Kite. He couldn't take it. Now Van der Heuvel sees a teammate on the outer wing. He takes it. Wants to go straight down the middle. We've got a fast-flowing game here. Running back was Suda trying to get in the way. Handballs. Running over it. The big man's got to get down low. That's McIntyre. Out. Ball in dispute. No, it's going to be a stoppage. Good fast-paced footy here at McPherson Park.
Well, times when it opens up, Archie, it's absolutely exceptionally fast, but the reality is for the best part of the first half, it was closed down quite effectively by Ballarat, which is where they positioned themselves really strongly to have a crack at this. But as we can see now, it's 36 points separating the two sides, 86 plays 50, and the time is quickly running out for Ballarat as we tick towards the 10-minute mark. McIntyre and Powling as McIntyre wins it down. Opportunity now emerges for the Swans. Kick around the body, bit of action, and that is very, very good work once again by Brenton Payne, who, as I've mentioned, that was a chest mark, but for the best part of today, he's been taking grabs overhead and just one grab marks. Just very, very good stuff at all.
He still outbodied his opponent on that occasion.
Yeah, he did nicely, didn't he? So they have it in the right back pocket. Encouraged to go along the line, and in fact forced to go along the line. As a kick towards the centre wing. Ball bounces awkwardly for the Swans and ultimately over the boundary line to be thrown in as the shadows start to stretch across McPherson Park. 10.5 minutes gone, 36 points separate the two sides.
Powling gets it down, just bouncing out of the path of Kite. Now Kite gets it back, and good kick along the line. Hits up Lachlan Watkins. Watkins wants to go with a little kick in the path. While getting back was Nick Swain, and now the go inboard here. Here's Van der Hoovel. He's going to be quick at a player, chasing him down. It's a one-on-one out wide. Pretty even contest there, and then he decided he wanted to go to the boundary line, and the umpire says throw it in. Centre wing on the outer side. Outer wing. The ground, and now they just go through is Walker hitting up, and good piercing kick. Go short to this Carter. It is. He's going to put it in the path. Probably put a bit too much air on that one. It was too easy for the Ballarat defender in Mitch McGrath to see it over the boundary line.
Around the grounds, Archie, and I can tell you Sebastopol 12-7-79, lead North Ballarat 6-10-46. It looks like season over for North Ballarat, and if this game goes the way it's going to be Sebast up against Melton next week, and the winner of tomorrow up against the Swans. As here's an opportunity for the Swans. They escape with the footy from the contest. Sweeping handball from Fife. Out wide. Has a teammate riding shotgun. Might be Blackburn. Kicks now towards half forward. A little ill-directed, and it's happy times for Jordan Cotter as he sees the ball over the boundary line, just to the left of the scoreboard, which has now been corrected, and I can tell you that it says 13-8-86 Melton leading Ballarat 7-8-50. That's the Ballarat Toyota scoreboard. 13 minutes gone in this fourth and final quarter.
Back in McIntyre front position as he has a lot of the day. Good contest though. Powling contested well. Anyway, here they go out. Liston with a booming kick outside the park as it floated through. It's just to the near side. Another minor score for Ballarat. 13-8-86 to 7-9-51. 13.5 minutes gone on the Ballarat Toyota scoreboard. So go through here, Cotter. He's just going to think his way through it. Handball over the top, puts his team out under pressure, but they're good enough to think their way through it. And that was Manito. Goes long and just kicks it down, and Van der Hoovel's been good today. Down, and good mark in defence. That time it's your man, Brenton Payne.
Yeah, he's been good. I've liked his game.
Goes longer and back to the Van der Hegel direction, but it gets in the path and just punched over the boundary line. I think Bailey Van der Heuvel's been pretty good today as well. He's taken their best forward for most of the day, so
Absolutely.
he's been good with his hands as well. So the ball's back in. Good ball bobbling around. The high tackle. It's going to go the way of the Melton Bloods as he throws his player off him. That's Sam James. You have to throw him off. Is Blake Suter.
Tough as nails, this bloke.
Not much movement above field, so he's just going to go wide and wait for something to open up. They're pretty happy to shoot some time off the clock here. Goes wide, Benito might fly, and he does, but it just gets out of his grasp, and now a couple of players will jump on the ball and have another stoppage. Centre wing outer side of the ground. 15 minutes gone, the Ballarat Toyota match of the day. Last quarter.
Yeah, Melton happy just to soak it all up now. As you'd imagine, with just the one goal kicked in this fourth quarter, there's not going to be a whole lot of time on. And it's, in fact, 35 points that separate the two sides, so it's going to be something mighty extraordinary for Ballarat to do anything about the result now. Ball kicked forward now. Melton just continuing to battle on in defence as they have valiantly all game, and once again we'll have another contest 45 metres out from the Ballarat goal. And we have a blood rule. One of the players leaving the arena with a blood nose. There was a little bit of a clash there. So too, Brett McIntyre takes the opportunity to come off and give young Bailey Mawson a run. And Kyle Borg, who for mine has been one of the most exciting players on the field today.
Definitely.
He too looks like he's going to make his way onto the arena. So the claret flowing. That's Riley Walker. Oh, Riley Walker, of course, has changed his jumper. It changed out of the long sleeves from the first half. So that's why he took a little bit of, took me a few moments to pick him. Also, the claret flowing down his face didn't help either.
The crowd's getting very vocal here as they're trying to defend well, and the umpire's going to give that one a throw. So Ballarat will have an opportunity to kick it goal here. This is Domick, who had the shot after the siren at three-quarter time. He went the barrel on that occasion. He's going to go the more conventional drop punt here, and they haven't needed a goal. It's right now. He kicks, and it's a booming kick. He's kicked it. He's kicked that 65 metres. He's slots it, so gets one back for Ballarat and just keeps it interesting, Wes. I mean, you know Lee Matthews' theory. If you got a goal a minute, you're still in it. So,
well, Hayden Domick obviously chose to go the barrel on the three-quarter time siren, and then he's just absolutely nailed that. That was a beautiful shot on goal coming at the 17-minute mark of this fourth and final quarter. So 29 points separate the two sides, and well, Lee Matthews' theory might go right out the window now as Jack Walker sends his side forward. Carter could have been a bit of a jumper tug there on that occasion. He goes to ground. It's his brother that swoops on the football. Bailey Van der Heuvel does very well. He escapes the clutches. Oh, he's deemed to have not disposed adequately. I thought he got the handball out there on that occasion. But anyway, it's going the way of Liam Carter. I won't question the umpire because he's a lot closer to the action than I am. And Liam Carter is hard up against the boundary line. And the wrong side for a right footer, but you just never know with the creative ways in which forwards approach their shots on goal.
Check side or left foot?
I reckon he's going to go with a conventional drop punt and hope to just slot it through the eye of the needle. He comes in now, 25 metres out. It's not a bad shot on goal, and it hammers into the woodwork halfway up for a minor score, and now 5 straight kicks separate the two sides as Melton move along to 13-9-87, Ballarat 8-9-57. That's on the Ballarat Toyota scoreboard.
Kicking back in for Ballarat. Here's Fraser. He's down that line and now punched out of the congestion, and well done from Swain to get in the way of that. Good tackle though from Manito. As the umpire says, the Ballarat player didn't have any prior opportunities. He'll have another stoppage 50 metres out from the Melton Bloods goal. Let's get it in. Mawson in the ruck now. Competed well all day when he's been in there. Bailey Mawson, as well as around the ground, playing half-back. Good young talent for Melton to watch in the next 10 years or so. James wins the ball and can't get it out, so he'll have another stoppage. And he gets some space here. I think Melton are happy to play this round of footy with a 30-point lead. They enjoy it at the moment. Hands out to Powling, and now around the corner from Blackburn. Well set up though, and Suter, one of the best on ground as well today, I think. Blake Suter won a lot of the ball in the first half. Just wants to take his time, as you should. Find the short option. Chop another 30 seconds. So as we mentioned, they'll go into the second semi next week. And if they win that, they will play in the grand final, as it's a good defensive mark from Vander Heuvel. Very impressed with his game today, Wes.
Yeah, he's been fantastic. The damage could be far worse were it not for Bailey Vander Heuvel today.
In the middle, get over the top, fist from Hickey, gets it down to Kennedy, and then couldn't get through, and then he puts his head down. He ducked into that. It comes out, but no, it's stuck in there, and it's really about in that situation was how much the players, put on it, like how much of his fault it is to duck it, but then also protecting the player, putting his head over the ball. It's a tough one. Back in the middle.
Mawson had a bit of run up there against Powling on that occasion. Take away with the Swans. Liston, he's been pretty solid today. He's been a consistent performer. There's Jordan Cotter, who just gathers possessions at will. Sends it out to the commentary side of the ground. Opportunity for Lachlan Walker. They retreat with a kick, and it's going to be taken by Suter, who will join the Ballarat Swans coaching panel on the boundary line there and just take his time. He's gesticulating as if he was going to go further back there, but then he sends it along the line. Mawson with the big leap. Couldn't hold the mark, had first hands, and then Powling, I sense that may have come off his boot, and it has, and he just had a wry smile.
So Mawson will get his kick.
His face. Yeah, Mawson gets his kick. His side in the ascendancy by 30 points. 21 and a half minutes gone. Walker of the Lachlan variety. He's got a few options sideways. Just happy to kick it around and continue to clock possessions. Cotter. This is Brenton Payne. Been terrific today. Pretty much flawless display by Payne. Sending it out further wide. That was Jack Walker. Now Funky Cold Manito. Bit of a cult figure with the commentary team. Manito spots his target and hits Ryan Carter magnificently. He squares it up. Oh, it was a little too heavily weighted there on that occasion for Jack Walker. And that opens the door for the Swans to repel. And it's Jake Dunn who finds his target out wide.
Goes over the top. They've got a little bit of space here. If he can get past this player, he can't. It's a good tackle. And Melton now have numbers behind the ball, so they can just take their time and think their way through it. They will. So good today. And there's Ryan Carter, not used to him being that far up the ground. Gives it to Manito. Manito. It's been good today. Goes long and strong. Mawson there. A couple of flies over the top. Mawson nearly reeling it in. And then in and under, trying to get the hands out with McGrath there as well. Running through was Garner, getting it long, and then off hands, coming back. Oh, well done from Melton to win the ball back in dispute there. Watkins grabs it, wants to go quickly. They've been dominant this last quarter. Haven't been able to put the scoreboard. Kite got rid of his man and then reels it in. Umpire will probably deem this as holding the ball for reeling it in. He does. So free kick going to Fife. Sends someone in the middle, and he's just going to go the up and under torpedo in the Dawson direction. Dawson gets away from his opponent, runs, handballs in the middle. Waitman, 25-20, closing goal. Good goal from Waitman for Ballarat. You would know it was a goal. The celebration wasn't quite there, but good skills and good work from Ballarat to play this game out and not let it blow right out like a few people were for sure expecting with Melton's dominance. They've done that to a few teams this year in the last quarter.
Well, they've got good reason to play it out, Archie, because they want to go away, and if they've lost by maybe 12 points or 18 points. They don't want to see it blow out by 60 points, do they? And so this is good work by the Ballarat Swans, because if they get another opportunity to play Melton, they want to know that they weren't too far off the mark. So here we are back in the middle of McPherson Park. They'll get the takeaway once again. It's Domick throws it on the left. First hands was with the Swans, couldn't haul it in. Domick goes back for second dibs. Pack forms. We'll have the umpire intervene once again. 87 plays 63, 13-9 to 9-9.
So up here with Ballarat looking to go forward again here. Good tap from Austin, gets it down, Powling, and it's good tackles, holding the ball. So Ballarat will go inside again. Work here. This is Liston.
Been one of Ballarat's best, hasn't he?
He's usually in the best as well. Now he's going to run. No one really manning the mark, and then that's how you can use that stand on the mark rule, can't you? Where you just run around on the angle. Sometimes players use it when they don't need to, and that creates a tougher angle to kick the goal. But no, he used it well on that occasion, just couldn't put it through the big sticks. Here's Jordan Cotter to return for Melton.
Sebast leading 13-7, 85 to North Ballarat, 6-11, 47. So season over for the Roosters, which is pretty disappointing given the way they were travelling at different times during the course of the year. But players elevated to higher honours makes it pretty tough. So here we are back at McPherson Park. Manito throws it on the boot. Opportunity for Carter. Pumps it very long. Sits nicely on that occasion for Hanley, who's been pretty presentable today. His second attempt to try to evade a tackle is not so good. And as a consequence, he concedes possession and also a free kick. So building now, Lachlan Dawson pumps it long, top of the square stuff, big leap. Jordan Cotter was second in line there on that occasion, did very nicely. And once again, he has been very presentable. Little up and under kick. Finds Phillips. Phillips, left half back. Short options on. This is Riley Walker. Kick towards Lachlan Hickey, and it's a beautiful kick. Hits the target.
Maybe a crowd favourite, getting quite a few.
Well, there's a lot of love
support,
for him. Don't worry about that. This is Lachlan Walker, right in front of us in the commentary position. His side in the ascendancy by 23 points. They're heading for a second semi-final next Saturday. Walker, Suda, switching out wide, Melton.
Benito's got space.
Oh, funky cold Benito. He's got plenty of room in which to move. He chooses not to bounce. He goes with a short option to Bailey Mawson. It's fisted only so far. Back to Manito. This time he goes with the right towards the lead of a teammate. The ball at ground level. Running onto it was Lachlan Hickey. He was wrapped in the tackle and will have a ball up 20 metres out from goal. Melton deep in attack. 13-9-87, leading Ballarat 9-10-64. Siren sounds to end our game at McPherson Park as part of the Carlton Draft final series for the McDonald's Ballarat Football Netball League season for 2022, and it is a 23-point win to Melton. They kicked just one goal in that fourth quarter. Ballarat kicked two, but having led by 31 points at three-quarter time, their win was assured. 13-9-87 to 9-10-64. Let's look to the score sheet, and I can tell you that there were three multiple goal kickers for Melton today. Braden Kite booted two, along with Jack Walker and Kyle Borg. And then we had singles to Jacob Hickey, Jordan Cotter, Harrison Hanley, Lachlan Walker, Lachlan Hickey, Liam Carter and Ryan Carter. And for the vanquished, Andrew Hooper, who was really probably in a frustrated manner.
Starved of opportunity, I'd say.
He was starved of opportunities for sure. That's the best way to describe it, because we know he's such a weapon when the ball goes up forward, and it just didn't get to him often enough. He booted 3, and there were singles to Fraser, Domick, Garner, Dawson, Waitman and Simpson. So some of the better players today, I thought, for Melton, Archie. I thought Jordan Cotter, your man, was very, very presentable once again. Plenty of possessions. A couple of quiet patches, but in the main, still gathered possessions almost at will. Harry Hanley, I thought, was very presentable. Braden Kite, great captain, just leads so inspirationally. Kyle Borg, what an excitement machine when he gets a little bit of run about him. Brett McIntyre and my man Brenton Payne.
Brenton Payne, yeah.
How good are his hands?
Sticky mitts.
Yep, absolutely sticky mitts. For the defeated Ballarat Swans, I thought Sam James just gave his all game. No surprise there. Terrific captain. Marcus Powling battled on. I thought, look, his duel with McIntyre was
really
largely
good.
Split. I just thought they were both really battled on very, very
Around the
hard
ground,
all
I'd
game.
probably give it to Powling. But, yeah, in the ruck, he did contest well in the ruck as well, so it was good from both of them. Also, I think from Melton, Bailey Mawson deserves a mention. I think he didn't get on the ground much in the first half, but then when he did, he really shows that Melton have a bright future. The young kid coming through, playing in the ruck and half-back. A couple of really nice marks. So look out for him the next couple of years.
And when we consider the Swans, as I mentioned, James and Powling, thought Will Liston was really presentable. Will Garner battled on. Bailey Vanderhoovel could have been a far greater margin, much more significant margin were it not for Bailey Vanderhoovel. He was terrific. And perhaps just the fact that there weren't quite as many contributors for Ballarat Swans is what gave Melton the advantage today, and they have ultimately prevailed. And Archie, I can tell you and tell our listeners that we know that it was a very, very tight first half. In fact, just 1 point separated the two sides, with Ballarat just locking the game down beautifully across the course of that first term. They led 2-2 to 2-1. By half-time, it was just, once again, a 1 point margin, 6-5 to 6-4, where Ballarat's capacity to limit Melton's run was really influential. But once again, Melton, their third quarter, I don't know what it is about their third quarters, but they certainly come out firing, don't they?
Yeah, for sure. Can't wait for the rest of the year, though, Wes, for the remainder of the game. So interesting now that North Ballarat's out of the conversation, because we know that when they get their best footy up and going, they were as good enough to beat anyone. That we know they beat Melton, albeit for a windy day at Mars Stadium. It just shows that whoever's left, when it's your day, it can be your day. And I reckon it's probably down to East Point or Melton now.
Well, East Point, of course, have got to get through tomorrow.
Yeah.
Knowing full well that the victor today, Melton, progressed to a second semi-final next weekend, and the Ballarat Swans will play in the first semi-final. So Ballarat Swans are still very much alive, but ultimately today it was that 6-1 third quarter that separated the two sides, because in the fourth and final quarter, Ballarat kicked 2 goals, Melton just kicked 1, and ultimately it was Melton 13-9-87 to 9-10-64, winning by 23 points. Hope you've enjoyed our Carlton Draft post-game wrap of the qualifying final. It was a most entertaining contest, albeit the fact that in the end Melton were able to really create a bit of a buffer and hold the vanquished at arm's distance. On behalf of the team, Caleb Ludlow doing an absolutely outstanding job on the technical production side as well as the videography today. Archie Burley in commentary. I'm Wes Cusworth on behalf of the entire team, hoping that you've had a great time viewing our McDonald's Ballarat Football Netball League live stream of the Ballarat Toyota Match of the Day as part of the Carlton Draft 2022 Final Series. We wish you well, and make sure that you're watching in tomorrow for what should be a terrific contest as the final series continues, and right across the course of the next 3 weeks, culminating in our grand final, which is coming up from Mars Stadium on the 17th of September. I'm Wes Cusworth on behalf of the team, wishing you well.